Hi Aquarius, and welcome to your February 2021 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to talk to you about the incredible and beautiful energy coming in for your sign this month. It is your season. Happy birthday to those of you Aquarians aging up in the month of February. This is probably the most activated Aquarius season of your life, okay? We've got Jupiter and Saturn in your sign, as well as the Sun, Mercury, everything's moving into Aquarius practically, and we will be having a ginormous Aquarius stellium around the second week of February, which I will be making a video about on YouTube. Be sure to check that video out. It will definitely be on my channel. I'll try to link it below if it's available by the time this reading goes out. So the month of February for you is about complete self-identification, I think. I think this is about really coming into yourself. I think this is about not playing with yourself anymore, about small things that don't have a lot of, real meaning or significance in your life. And I think that this month is it's a transition. I would say that really the last year has been more of the transition, but you might just be kind of coming into harbor now. You've got that Six of Swords. You've got the Sun, the Moon, the Tower reversed, the Hierophant, Knight of Swords. You're moving quickly into a new territory, and I think you're arriving. It's not so much that moving point, but it's like finally arriving somewhere, finally coming into yourself, finally not being afraid of some of the opportunities at hand as well. So I'm trying to imagine what this energy will give for you on this side of it. For many of you, it's just not going to be predictable. There's not really any way that you can know for sure exactly how it's going to affect your life. But what I will say is you're going to feel strong, okay? You're going to feel like in the month of February, especially, getting halfway through and towards the end of it, you're going to feel like you can pretty much do anything, say anything, be anything, achieve any goal. The life force energy is immense for Aquarius. And this 99.9% of the time is a good thing. Do watch out for flagrant or cocky expressions, though. Okay, this is something that came into me as I saw a few Aquarians in my own life become a little bit like very different than I'd ever seen them before. Okay, and it's so beautiful to see Aquarius really not being afraid anymore to call somebody on something, not being afraid anymore to speak their truth, not being afraid to basically assert themselves. That is the positive. Though also there's a bit of an impulsivity with it as well, having Jupiter in your sign, and that's going to get you a lot of good things, but you also have to be careful about assumptions, okay? You have to be careful about saying things that aren't really thought out or an impulsive need to prescribe values as well. Okay, so this is really important, having Jupiter in your sign. It gives you this really good ability to draw a conclusion. Jupiter-Saturn conjunction, it gives you a really good ability to know the value of something, to know the status or the condition of something. So what an incredible time to maybe get into real estate or to know the value of properties or for business or things like that. That would be a great way to channel it. Watch out though for this turning towards your loved ones, where you might be trying to find the value of someone in your life, or you might say, for example, you've got a friend or a loved one who has run down properties or something. I feel like it'd be easy, and this is just a hypothetical for an Aquarius, to say that and make that really clear. And you could kind of damage that relationship inadvertently. And in a way, you're trying to help, and what you're doing is really good. And what you provide for that person by saying that is ultimately very important. And it transforms them, and it transforms the entire scape of what they're going through. And you kind of start to see how your energy, even through slight assertions, has this ripple effect that is ginormous, okay? You do see that, right? And though you can damage relationships easily, okay, and I will just make that really clear to you, the Tower reversed, the Sun, the Moon, Knight of Swords, Six of Swords, all of this, Ten of Pentacles also coming up, you can really easily crush or destroy what has been your foundation. So do walk cautiously, I advise, for Aquarius when it comes to especially diagnosing negative things or speaking to people that you truly love about very tense, serious, or long-running issues. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. On one hand, you can heal that. On the other hand, you can make it a lot more problematic. So it's just like the nature of power. You have a lot of power right now, Aquarius, and that can be used so good or so bad. And this is the time, when this is so new, the first season, okay, first Aquarius season of having Jupiter and Saturn in your sign, the only one where Jupiter will be there, okay? In a way, this could be a lifeline determining month for you. This could be meeting a soulmate. This could be starting a business. I'm really feeling like real estate businesses for Aquarius. Now, I know that that's, not many people who are realistically going to get into something like that. But if you've been like toying with the idea of like property values or, getting into that market, maybe that would be a really good thing to pursue, if that's like really what's on your mind, like the value of properties. So definitely check into that, Aquarius. That will be really helpful to you moving forward. I also think you have to be really present for the opportunities that are going to come at you this month. There are going to be a lot of them. So do really try to moderate your absence. What do I mean? Like, so drunkenness or having to sleep all the time or tuning out or detaching too much, okay? Anything that makes you absent to the like very obvious clear-cut path that's in front of you is only going to be something that kind of keeps you in the same place you were in 2020. So definitely look at 2022, like, is this satisfactory? Is this okay? Because for some Aquarians, it's like, honestly, you guys already figured it out and you've kind of created a baseline for yourself that is really positive, and that might just need to be continued and kind of spiced up in creative ways. And though if 2020 was not satisfactory for you in a general sense, February of 2021 becomes like a surgery, like the surgeon's hand energetically on your life. So you might have to get your hands into these situations and really, negotiate a raise in your job, or look at other industries, or look at your relationship and really ask if it's going to be there for much longer, and be honest with yourself about that. Whether you're like single or coupled, like your relationship status feels to be a really important thing to consider this month, okay? And the true health of that, okay? The duplicity of that also, okay? Does the relationship have a certain face that is not real, okay? Does the job have a certain face that's not real? Does the are you only concerned with your like face, for example, like with cosmetic surgeries or makeup? Or not that those things are bad. Some people can do that, all that very tastefully, but this is a substantive time for Aquarius. Jupiter and Saturn is in your sign. You can't get past the substance. Try to heal it from the inside out. If you've got acne, get that celery juice going. Don't go to the store, to Sephora, and get the $90 foundation to cure your acne, So that is definitely something to echo and reverberate in whatever way you can. Any other messages before the week to week? This is more spiritual than too. This is very much about remembering who you are, okay? This is very much also about seeing clearly any toxicity, okay? Not in you, in people around you, but also in you if it's there. It's very hard as we come out of Year of the Rat from 2020 to not have developed a toxic trait. And this is for everybody. This is for 100% of people. The Year of the Rat deals directly with toxicity. And on one hand, you can really clean things up and you can really purify your life in Year of the Rat, which is what we just came out of. February 12th, we go into Year of the Ox. So you've got 12 days in February to, really hone in on this. So this is more general and not just for you, but again, you're so represented right now. Jupiter, Saturn, Sun, Mercury, everything, so you're going to maybe be the leader in this sense of like how we deal with self-toxicity. Like when we see, okay, wow, I was really toxic in that situation. I really lost control. I really said something that created a very big karmic web for another person. And that was my choice, and that was the power that I wielded, and that's how I chose to use it. And this is, this time of February is where you kind of go back and you're like, okay, this is who I am. This is the person that I've become, and I'm going to now choose a more light, more loving, more caring, more compassionate connecting point to the people in my life than this. And that can really help you to move forward into a really kind, wealthy, prosperous, and dynamic year ahead. So week to week, let's talk about the week to week for you, Aquarius. Week number 1, you've got Knight of Swords rooted down by the 2 of Pentacles reversed. So the first week is not that big of a deal. It's like a finishing process. You're moving really quick, hitting that finish line really quickly. There's an indecisiveness. You're kind of like maybe a bit of a workaholic in the first week, and you're trying to decipher, or you're trying to choose between certain energy investments, which is wise. Okay, it's very wise of you in the first week of February to choose, how am I going to place my energy? What are my priorities now? What are my standards now? And is my relationship, my job, my output reflecting those standards and those priorities? You know, am I always in a fight with my significant other and trying to really glaze that over pretentiously to, you know, the public? Am I, and how might that then reverberate into so many places into my life? Like, you know, that duplicity or that duality, you know, will anything in my life ever really be clear if I try to focus so much and make something it's not? So this is, again, about honesty and, you know, indecisiveness. 2 of Pentacles, you're going to see through that, okay? A lot of times, and I'm learning this through the energy, so thank you so much, Aquarius, for being here and through this. A lot of the times, indecisiveness is just a sort of like a personal quandary about honesty and about what something truly is or not in your life. And we complicate that sometimes. Like sometimes we make a relationship or a job or, you know, a goal in our life. Sometimes we make it something it's not. Sometimes we use it as a motivational piece when it's just, you know, what we're doing. And it doesn't really have to be this complicated. So really decomplicate things for yourself. Don't complicate this if you're in like a toxic relationship. Don't complicate it further and be like, well, I know that this person's toxic, but I'm really, you know, learning about my own progression, so that's serving me in a good way. And you see how you get that 2 of Pentacles indecisiveness going on? Like, I can't decide whether this is actually toxic or not. Try to really just get real with yourself and be like, okay, maybe I just really can't, or maybe in the past I've just been struggling to allow myself to be on my own, or I've not been comfortable enough or safe enough with who I am to allow myself to not have another person. Therefore, like, I'd rather mask that up and put a layer of makeup over that fear to be alone than I would you know, not have this relationship. So in essence, it's like selling your sense of purity for an exercise in fakeness. That's what, and this, I know this can sound like a little bit harsh, but it's like, it's really waking me up too as I'm giving this reading to you. And there are so many Aquarians who've already overcome this. And again, this is more general, and like anybody could be here. I think this is just kind of actually general because, again, everybody's going to kind of be going through what you're going through, Aquarius, because again, like every planet's in Aquarius. So all of humanity is kind of here and working through these themes. And Aquarius provides the detachment and the objectivity and the clarity to see things for what they are. So that is the first step, I think, okay, in getting better now, in healing now, is detaching and seeing things for what they are. And through that, then you can really start to make the decisions that give you the best life. So week number 2, you have the Hierophant rooted down by the moon. Super, super spiritual. And then you get like the key to the car or the key to the house, or you see the keys in the Hierophant card. I just love it because it's like you, just by having these dialogues with yourself and by getting real with yourself, you're like already given so much by the second week of February. And with the moon rooting it down, you're overcoming that facade, overcoming that dimensionality of events. So things in different lighting can be different, and it's the same for relationships or jobs or whatever. You know, in a certain lighting, maybe this relationship looks really beautiful. In another lighting, maybe it looks really harsh, okay? And things ebb and flow, and things change in life. So you're spiritually evolving through witnessing that and through going through that. And that's just going to be a beautiful acceptance of what humanity is for you, which is going to just solve a lot in and of itself in the second week. Third week, you have the Sun rooted down by 10 of Pentacles. Finally, we get a little bit more physical and beautiful in the third week of February. I see nothing bad. I see nothing difficult in that week through the work that you're doing in the first 2 weeks. So new promotions, new bonuses. Yeah, having Jupiter and Saturn in your sign can really raise your value and really raise your standing. Okay. So wealthy marriages, starting that really lucrative new business, fixing problems with your family, healing family wounds. 10 of Pentacles is also about ancestry and family. Enjoying your family, enjoying your inherited family, this is about joy and love and peace building in the third week. Beautiful. Use some of that power for peace building. And I love what it does. In the fourth week, it gives you 6 of Swords rooted down by the Tower reversed. As you move into a more peaceable frame of mind, Aquarius, please think of peace, think of love, think of kindness, because you have so much power that you can be very destructive right now too, and it's just worth saying. But you can equally channel that into peace, and through trying that in the third week, through being peaceable, what happens is you completely move out of these toxic cycles, and the Tower reversed, it dissolves whatever threatens the peace in your life. Okay, so this is kind of how it's working right now. We can either pursue peace and love, and the Tower reversed can come in and dissolve that which threatens the peace and love, or we can pursue destruction and chaos, and the Tower reversed will come in and dissolve whatever threatens destruction and chaos. So it's really up to us, 2 of Pentacles. And I'm hoping that maybe more than just Aquarians will watch this reading, because again, this is like really applicable for everybody. But again, you're at the sort of the leading point for this, Aquarius, so just keep it in mind. So it's up to you, what waters do you want to sail into? What a beautiful time in the fourth week for a sacred release, for a ritual revolving around the release of chaos and destruction, for a ritual revolving around detoxes, anything like deconstructions, detox, denouncing, so divorces as well, yeah. Anything like that is actually really good because you can finally find yourself again. So what a beautiful and compelling month, Aquarius. I've been so happy to be here reading for you. Overall, it's going to be positive. You have the sun and the moon. You have a lot of energy. You have a lot of power. Enjoy what you have at your forefront right now. What's at your door? What's willing to work with you? What's your biggest dreams? Now's the time, if you've built it right, and if it's responsible, and if it's contextual to some degree, it is the time. Now, yes, also we can build skyscrapers in our mind and go wild with things that aren't contextual, which doesn't bring anything, but it seems like you'd also have a pretty neat trip through that as well. So keep it easy, keep it sober, keep it sane, and I'm going to do an extended reading for you on Patreon. I'll get a central theme and 2 supporting themes. I hope you will all come over to the Patreon page. It's such a great service. If you haven't been there by now, I do extended readings. I do weekly tea chats that are only on Patreon. And you can get these readings early and ad-free over there. So I will link that in the center of the screen as well as below. And let's jump over for that now. Thank you so much, Aquarians. Much love. Bye.